Hi friends! So in today's video I will be talking about this one, which is Obsession for Men by Calvin Klein. And this is almost 40 years old fragrance, came out 1986, actually 1 year older than I am. And it's still in production, but I do feel that this is a little bit like forgotten fragrance maybe, in general at least, because I don't see much talk about this anymore. Like I said, even though it's still in production. Of course, I'm sure that it has changed throughout the years. This is a late 80s bottle, I believe. So it's a very, very old bottle. I've also had this for a long time. I've had a couple other versions of this as well. At least the other one was from early 2000s or something, and maybe from the 90s, the other one. And they were also, what I remember, they were slightly different than this. So I can imagine that the new version or the current version is quite far from this one, but you know, who knows? I'm not saying that don't go out and buy it, because like I said, I haven't tried it and things change. Sometimes we just have to accept that. But this one is, it's really, really strong stuff. So yeah, let's talk about it for a moment. I will give a quick spray. Let's see how it works. Sometimes this sprayer is not. Now it works actually perfectly. Whoa. Yeah, oh goodness. It is definitely an 80s fragrance. It opens up like an 80s, proper 80s perfume should and did, because my god, sorry, it's itching my nose almost a little bit. Fragrances from this era and also before this, they used to be actually quite strong. But I still wanna say that even though they are very strong, and for example this one opens up really, really powerful, it's still very smooth. There is nothing like annoying sharpness or like too aggressive parts in here, for example. So it just means that it's well made. It pushes through from the skin very nicely. It's very smooth, but yeah, it's very powerful. This one opens up actually even slightly animalic. There is this kind of warm, like I said, little bit like untamed animalic rawness to the fragrance, in my opinion, like with the ambery part of this perfume, because this in the end is quite ambery fragrance. And the amber in here is actually, it's a little bit animalic. And I remember reading this article about lions, like way back in time. And there was something, this fragrance had something to do with lions. I don't remember exactly how did it go, but it was something that lions, I guess that it was that lions really liked the smell of this, and they used this to somehow tell the lions, I guess. I don't know. Go and read that article. It was quite interesting, but definitely, you know, this does have, especially now that I know that article and the fact that there are lions involved in this perfume somehow, it's kind of what I meant with untamed, raw, animalic quality of this. It kind of makes sense and makes me think of those kind of furry lions and a little bit of like roughness to the perfume. But it's still very smooth, like I said, and there is this kind of small sparkle as well, like a little bit of citrusy, like bergamot especially. Bergamot kind of opening that gives a little bit of brightness to the fragrance, but it's still very ambery, very kind of cinnamon heavy, slightly. Already there is a little bit of vanillic undertone to the perfume, and that is what this fragrance is going to be later on, in my opinion, at least on my skin, mostly. So cinnamon, very kind of, in this case at least, in this version, it's quite dusty, and there's definitely powdery element of this perfume as well. And because there is quite a lot of cinnamon in here, the cinnamon is like I said, it's kind of dusty and powdered and really warm as well. So it kind of makes me think of also when you, for example, let's say that you have a cinnamon powder in that kind of like small bag, and you open it and you almost get that kind of cloud of that spice coming to you. So this to me has a little bit of that, because this is also quite dry. And it has a little bit of this talky feel, I would say, like talc powder kind of feel to me, or at least there's a little bit of that in here. I don't know what is causing that, but definitely it has a little bit of older kind of style to it. Later on, you know, all that freshness that's here just only for a moment in the opening, that will be gone, and definitely you are left with that really warm, glowing amberiness. The animalic effect of this goes away, in my opinion, at least later on. So it stays kind of, it has a little bit of like Christmassy feel to me later on, when it starts to, you know, get all the warmth from the spices, the vanilla, and the amberiness that this one has. And occasionally, at least, now I don't get it, but I remember, you know, I've been wearing this all the time, or I used to wear this quite a lot. I still wear it sometimes, not as often as I used to, but I also did get, sometimes I got kind of like a rosy feel with this, maybe rose and some kind of carnation that just gives this kind of floral, slightly reminding just a little bit of some older times, I would say. But in general, it's a very kind of strong fragrance, opens up quite powerful, a little bit animalic, very spicy, and ends up being kind of this slightly sweeter, ambery, vanilla, cinnamon fragrance that is just very pleasure and enjoyable to wear, in my opinion. Still good stuff. Definitely belongs to all the classics from, especially from the 80s, and yeah, it does give a little bit of different kind of style from the 80s, as there were used to be many like fougères and like aromatic woody fragrances and all those. So this is just giving us slightly different side to the things, and personally I really like this one. I think that it's still one of the best from the Calvin Klein house. So yeah, I guess that's all for now and for today. Thank you for watching. Until next time, and bye bye.